Good morning to all of you out there, and welcome to another episode of American Garage TV. Today we are following back up on our 77 K10. You might have saw a earlier video way back in the beginning, nicknamed AKA Jeepers Keepers. So, anyways, the movie. But it's come a long way, so let's go share it with you. She's looking good. Well, we'll start with this. We have the, up on the screen, we're going to flash a picture of what it looked like. Oops. Not kidding. The Titanic. So there's one of the axles. Here is the rear differential. All redone. Now, these are actually a nicer upper bearing. They do stick out a bit, but they're fine. They clear the axle. And then we got a rebuild kit because we had some issues when we put on this 1310 yoke. And, check with your manufacturer because you're going to have a drag. The drag might be off the pinion or the whole assembly. So when you're putting this back together, there's a depth. You need to get that right. So we actually left that alone on the shims, which saves us some time. And we replaced the bearing. Remove the old one, put on the new one, and then reset this. And then we went ahead, we only had a couple, 3 times for this going in and out. They had some pre-machined spacers. It wasn't a lot of individual, 5, 10, 15, 20 to 30 thousandths shims. When we put that back together, we were roughly about 13, 14. And these are used gears, but we didn't want that. I don't know if you can hear that. That's roughly about 5 to 7 right now. We did put a 5 in here. We're able to, you have to pull this whole thing out and push this down. And then we had to tap that in side by side with the back of a hammer. And got that in, torqued it down. And that's when we got a tighter mesh. Ran some lithium, ran the mesh. Excellent. Forward and reverse rotation. This is all primed, ready to go. It just needs to be scuffed with a gray Scotch-Brite and wiped down and just cleaned and prepped and ready for paint. And then we've got the matching front differential we'll show you in a minute with the lube locker, the nice quality gasket, and our oil. So coming back over here, we'll probably put another picture up on the screen. This was all bagged yesterday. We have what's known as a speed media blaster, and it's just a little handheld unit. I think they have got it, there it is on the ground, right there. That's the baby right there. And that works out great. We got him a suit, got gloves, the cap, ventilator, and also some goggles. And we had them all hooked up. I don't know if you can see part of this. That is nothing compared to the way it was before. I mean, this thing was completely and severely rusted. So when we come up over here, since we ended up having to rebuild everything, we've already done the front, so it's like literally night and day. So same thing, we've got the springs, look like they've been sitting at the bottom of the ocean or a lake. They were rusted. With the exception of mud. So these have been media blast, clean prepped, primed and painted. We've got our black semi-gloss caliper paint on our drums. Same thing with our dust shields. They both, the whole rear end, again, I'll pop that picture up on the screen, was just completely Titanic. So in addition to that, we have, here's that box over here. We've got our new hardware set, our adjustment plugs, our new brake wheel cylinders, and over here, we already got the U-bolts done. They're clean. Now, the reason why we didn't buy new, the U-bolts were 10, factory was about 7.75. This over the years had been modified, changed over. I don't have a number on it. There's no tags. They even incorporated these spacers. We're missing one. One's around here somewhere. Probably lost in the paint booth. And I wasn't going to buy a lot of different springs to figure out as it's all put together and it's seated on the ground, to make sure that it had and retained the same height. So they were still in fair condition. All we did was media blast, prime, and paint it. Same thing with the U-bolts that are still back there on the rack. And then the reason why we got these through like Amazon is we've got brand new U-bolt nuts. And I was hoping for gold zinc. And then we've got in stock, we've got those thick grade A washers, the 5/8. These are 5/8. So next time you see us on the next frame, we're gonna have this sucker all painted, put back together, and his shocks, they were new, so we're gonna replace those. But you could see the condition and all the other crap that we had pulled off of there. So can't wait. I know the owner's equally excited, and this build is pretty dear to me because it just kind of reminds me of my past. Maybe I might upload a couple of pictures of that when I grew up in the Azusa Canyon, the desert of California. Anyway, so want yourself again, grab a cool one. We'll be right back, and as we move forward. Hello again and welcome back. I got dust, rust, and old paint and grime all the way through our nostrils. Also Dakota, he's out here helping me. So we're about ready to start priming and painting. Yeah, hey, watch that stuff. I know, pretty tasty, huh? Got a little pocket right here. It's pretty rusty. So what we're doing is these are the rear purchase for the shocks. Actually, the shackle goes in here, and it's a reverse. The shock actually, or the spring, comes up to here. So we clean that out. We straighten this out. We have to hammer that out a bit because we have to force the bumper out of the way. So we've detailed like in the back where it's really going to be shown. So right here, in these pockets, got a little bit with the wire brush. We've cleaned all the way through here as best as possible for what it's worth. We're not going for show quality, but we do want to bust off this rust, protect this metal from rusting anymore. So we're about ready to start. We've got a couple areas like right here that'll just stand through, just a few, but we're going to start painting here in just a moment. Right in that pocket there. Yes. Too bad I didn't have like a holster. Have my cans right here, you know? Ready to roll. Like you're ready to fucking gun down. So we're back and we are about ready to start shaker canning this. Yes, we are shaker canning. Now all these areas here where the metal is bare, actually I gotta shake that up a little more. Make sure the paint comes out. There we go. All we're doing is lightly blending that in and just kind of fogging over. And then we're gonna hit it with a light gray Scotch-Brite. All right. And this is just gonna help to bring this truck to looking good and also to keep this from rusting and continuing like the rest of this. So, all right, the moment of truth here. Hey, Dakota, This is a used can, and it's almost out, so the pressure is not that great. But what I want you to do is burn this on the inside. I want a fresh can for better spraying. Burn that, okay? So let me get another can here. That's flat. There's a solid. Oh, here we go. All right. You got it? Yep. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Yeah, that's much nicer. All right, well, I'm going to continue spraying this truck and put this thing down. And the next time you see it, it'll be oh so complete and beautiful. And go wash our nostrils. I know I should have been wearing a mask. I'm sure there's some of you out there, hey, you should have wearing a mask. Yeah, well, I used and practiced the no breathing method and pull my shirt over. It's a bad habit. I get it. Anyways, so hey, stick around. There's more to come. Tomorrow, when this all dries up, we're gonna start reassembly, and this thing's gonna look. I can't wait to fire this thing up, and we are going to pounce. Anyways, stay tuned. Thanks for sticking with us. Oh, hey, excuse me. Hey, welcome back to American Garage TV. Our continuing build of our 1977 Chevy K10 4x4. Well, we painted our diff. Last you saw, Bill and I were setting up the diff. Those are original used gears. They're working out great. We'll just peel this tape off. We got a lube locker gasket. We'll go ahead and put on our oil, and we'll button up with the same existing, we'll show you in a minute, nice polished cap with our stainless ARP bolts. This thing's like brand new. We've got these upgraded bearing. They're actually also known as bearing savers, bearings and seals, and it's a dual seal. Just make sure they're greased really well. Our axles are already redone and painted. Follow me. Suck it in here, huh? All right, welcome to our little workshop. Oh, we have painstakingly stripped the bumper, and this is all by hand and shaker can. It's better than nothing considering the way it used to look. And I think you'd realize in some of the pictures, wish I had some light, but you can come down here and take a look. So it's all painted in unison. The front end had gotten done last year, and this year we decided, what the heck, we need to do the same for the rear. Why don't you come up over here, watch your head. We just got through painting and detailing the hubs. They were starting to rust. This is all brand new. On all this overspray, don't worry about it. Once you hit those brakes, that stuff will fly off. Here's our front end. And then for those of you that, look, energy suspension then, energy suspension now. For those of you that are just tuning in, we've got a blinged out 383 stroker. Blueprint Racing. Did a video on that a while back. And then we've got a 700 R4 transmission, brand new, overdrive. And then quite recently, a few months back, we had tore in to this NP203 transfer case. A little dirty from all the grinding. We'll clean that up, wipe that down. This is all 1350 series yokes. Energy suspension. We went with the red as a nice contrast or offset to the predominant jet black. And these are our bump stop purchase. So let's just go through some of the parts that we have. And these guys just came in. So we had some ones by Skyjacker, and they look like this, and they're probably made by these guys. This is by Energy Suspension, but when we got the Skyjackers, they are black. And these guys will go right here, like that. Look at that. Match with the front. So, and despite everything we're planning on replacing new, here's a lot of the garbage that we had removed and that we will not be restoring and or using. And then over here is my drink. So no, seriously, we're gonna do some wiring repair. This is the license plate light. We'll get them a new one. And then this plugs into another pigtail. We'll clean that up and make sure it works. You got 4 leads in here, and that's gonna be for our left hand and right hand lighting. And then, forgot about that. We had cut some brackets. We'll mention that. This is the bumper. We figured this is the last piece to restore and paint so it coincides with everything brand new and repainted. The front will have a new bumper, and that's going to be chrome. On this one, let me just start by showing you this. These brackets might have been original, but then they welded it to this thin metal plate, and apparently this was also thin metal that came on the back of the bumper, and that's how it bolted on. But there's no way in heck you were gonna pull anything without ripping that bumper off. So we discussed that with the customer. At first he was like, well, I'll never tow. Never say never. In an event he takes this out four-wheeling, and he will, and he has to tow a buddy out of a ditch, the last thing you're going to want to do is pull him out with this. The bumper's going to fly off and hit that and fly right in that guy's face. We don't need these bolts. That was for the bumper. So we've cut our own brackets. Drew and I were able to get this on our machine within what, 1/4 of an inch. Yeah. And we held this and cut these down. So these will be our new pieces. These are 1/2 inch. And these here are 1/4, and they're going to be welded. We're gonna jig this up and then weld this in the position we need. Then we'll grind and prep. Then this will be welded to the back of the bumper, okay? And then that's how that's gonna mount. Now, he can pull whatever he wants to his heart's desire. So that answers that. And that too will be gloss black. And then we've already restored, now these are, if you look at that, they are pretty much Titanic, but they'll still work. These are our top U-bolt brackets. We've got them painted. Yeah, we probably could have cleaned them up a little better, you know, and detailed them, but before we went to paint. But again, this is kind of a budget build. Customer's not made of money. Actually, he's 28 years old. And he is an awesome guy, and he's allowing me to revisit a past passion of mine. I used to go four-wheeling in the Azusa Canyon, California desert. You had whitewater wash, you had boulders, you had the best of all worlds. Now these are the original U-bolts. We decided to refurbish them, paint them along with the springs, and I'll tell you what, nothing's original. Originals, these are 10. Originals were 7.75, and then they adapted these spacers. We didn't want to play around with getting several springs. There's no numbers to figure out once they're installed and it's back at ride height. Oh, is it going to sit level? Is it too low? Is it too high? So we're restored. Yeah, you saw in an earlier video, these things were Titanic. So these are all original and restored. Same thing with the drums. The drums are heavy as sin, but they're in great shape. The dust covers, similar to the U-bolt brackets, they were pitted. So I had painstakingly shaped those, painted those, and then the rest of the stuff's all brand new. We've got our spring hardware. We have our wheel cylinders. They're brand new. The other ones were leaking. And when you do a job like this, for what these are worth, I think these were around 20 bucks or so a piece. Just buy new, okay? Do not reuse the old stuff. You go through all that labor, and then all of a sudden come to find out you got a leak and you got to change it out. We got new pins so we don't have to waste the time and the labor, and that goes between the wheel cylinder and the brake shoe, so we don't have to waste the labor of cleaning those. We also have these adjustment caps. There's 2 to each side, so we got those. I'm tripping on the rear tail lamp harness. And by the way, this is how we do it. Everything that we use, abrasives, and there are a few of them. There's a few more on the table. Brushes. everything that gets used up, we keep these in the box. I go through and then I price accordingly, and that's how we know what we used. We already got new paint, and these are the supplies that we used and burned. Other than that, we've got new U-joint bolts here, and we didn't buy them. We got these on Amazon fairly cheap. We didn't buy them for the U-bolt. We bought them for the nut. Believe it or not, I was actually going for gold light zinc plating, but they didn't have it. And then we have these in stock. These are super thick 5/8 washers in junction with that. So when you put it all together, you have a nice contrast. And it's all in the details. Look, we needed them anyways. No sense just having everything look like Earl Scheib. Some of you out there know what I'm talking about. Everything's the same color. So then there's that. We have that. We've got new brake shoes. These are semi-metallic. They are 11" by 3. We've got our new bump stops that I showed you earlier. We have our new matching bushings like the front. We have our new shackles. Again, labor was the money wasn't worth restoring. We also have our own set of bolts. They are grade 8. They're gold zinc to match. These are the shackle bushings to match. These are our brand new e-brake cables. He already had these nice Bilstein shocks, so we're gonna clean them and leave them alone. And then he had these. This is like a pot metal. And I want you guys to understand something. He had it bolted down like this. These things have a pound rating, and if you're gonna pull directly in line, that's great. So chances are he was gonna pull from this angle. Having it mounted like that, this is just gonna snap, okay? And if you're trying to hook a trailer up with this or whatever, that is so unsafe. You're hauling a car, whatever, or you're trying to tow a buddy out, this is gonna snap and this is gonna boomerang and take somebody's eye out or the whole head. So we're gonna correct that. The other thing is we've got stainless steel brake lines coming in. Our main is okay. And then we've got this by Skyjacker. This is for a 4.5" lift. We tend to buy a few others than just the one, just to have to play around with. And whatever doesn't work, we just send it back. So this is our center flex. This is gonna go between our main right here and bolt to our excuse me, bolt to our differential. And then our stainless lines left and right are gonna go to this T here. So that's how that'll work. We'll set that aside. I've literally gone through everything. We showed you the diff. We showed you what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish my drink. And Drew and I, or Mr. Cam, AKA cameraman, are gonna start mocking this up and then tacking it in place. And once everything's where it needs to be and all leveled out, we'll go to final welding, and then I'll send it to the boys to paint, prime and paint, and prep that and get that ready for paint. And then we're gonna start assembling this truck, the rear end. So stay tuned, follow along. I can't wait. Nick, she's coming home soon. And shocker, you're gonna get a buddy with you. So yeah, guilty as charged. I'm gonna have to take the driver's seat and give you the option of the passenger seat. I can't wait. Stay tuned, stick along, there's more to come. Right on. Hey, welcome back. So we've got our brackets in place, plumbed. Of course, they're all fabricated. Bill over here, he took control of the welder. We invited him in to help out. So he's gonna be tacking these in place, and then we're gonna take them off, weld them through, and then we're gonna put them back in place, and then we're going to set the bumper up, get our level over there, and we're gonna tack the bumper to these brackets, and then pull the whole assembly off, bring it down over here, and start welding it up. So in about, I don't know, what do you figure, about 30 minutes, we're gonna have us a new bumper. Nah, not necessarily. Technically new. What's that?
That tack is probably all the firm they need.
Yeah, there you go for that bumper. I know. Yeah. What did you say that was? 14 gauge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look what it said.
It's a baby. Yeah, we're at 21.5 on the voltage. All right. So I can remove this one here? After. I want to screw you up. Hey, while you're at it, weld these holes in.
Yeah.
You see this up here?
And
That's the patina. Sparks are flying. Got it? Ready? All right. You guys hang tight.
oh, see it, hello.
We're gonna weld these up, and then we're gonna get the bumper mocked up, tack it, and do our final weld. And then we'll drill our holes. We got a couple of them, 1/2-inch bolts, and we're ready to go. So we've got, I believe, 3/8 against a 1/4-inch L bracket. Before they were 8-inch, and then he had a ridiculous 1/2-inch bar, which was redundant, which is more than enough. And don't forget, I got a 3/16-inch frame, but wanted this sticker to the frame to actually help secure and support it. Went at an angle, we had to drop it anyways. So these bolts are offset. Like I said, a couple grade 8 1/2-inch bolts, and this sucker's not going anywhere. All right, so I got some stuff to do here. We're gonna catch up with you in a bit. All right, so we've got our brackets welded up. They're clamped in place. We are eyeballing and centering, and you don't worry about that side just yet, Drew. Bill needs to justify his. We need to get a center, and we are center. That's good. Bill, go ahead and tack the bottom, and then you'll tack the top, and then we're going to take the level, and we're going to justify that, get that leveled out, and he's going to come to this side, tack the top and bottom. We're going to pull that baby off, put it back down on our stands, and we're going to do final weld. So we are getting there. Nick, he's coming home soon, buddy. That's looking nice. All right, we're back. Little follow-up. Bill has welded this to
one little piece.
And he's got a little bit more welding. We've got our brackets welded, fully welded to the bumper. And then tomorrow we're gonna put this back in. We're gonna line this up and drill our holes, bolt that down, and at the same time double check. We'll drill a little larger with a 1/2-inch grade 8 bolt. So this way it'll have a little bit of adjustment and get that thing all nice and leveled out up there. And then we'll go into prime and paint, and that's it. And then from there, when we see you further, we're gonna start assembling and putting all this stuff here back up on there. All right, so stay tuned, and thanks for following along. Appreciate you. All right, Bill, it's almost time for close.
Yeah, I mean, well, what do you want?
It's beep this shit 30. Well, good morning to you all. Thanks for following along. It's another day and another dollar. And we're about getting ready to do our final assembly of our 77 K10. Bill is welding reinforcements, because this is a thin wall, 14 gauge or so. And we this was for aesthetics, especially the original mounts. That was a dead giveaway. But then somebody, incorporator, welded in a hitch receiver, and so the original brackets were shoddy, and we knew they were going to rip off. So in order to give him some type of towing capacity, say 52 or less, and light duty towing, and being responsible, like not putting into neutral, rev the motor up, and then dump it in drive while you're towing somebody, right? So he's finishing that up with the gussets. We've got 2 more on the other side, and then later we're going to prime and paint. I love to powder coat that, but there's just too much crap on here, and all the pitting, it's just really not going to come out that great. And our booth is brand new. We've yet to get it set up and unpackaged. It's still wrapped in cellophane. So we're going to paint as we have with all the rest of the frame. And right now, Drew Jr. here, Junior Johnson, say hello to all the ladies out there right now.
How's it going, ladies?
Yeah, there's probably but one or two. And that would be my wife and your mother watching. Oh, okay. Anyways, excuse Bill's mouth. He said, "What's up?" So, anyways, he's installing these nice new energy suspension, matching red urethane bump stops for a 4.5-inch lift. At least it's the other ones were tired and they were maybe about here, so weren't gonna work out. So again, we've got our springs that are gonna go in next. We're gonna put those together with the new bushings that are right over here, and we're gonna do some assembly. So stay tuned. We'll see you in a bit. Squatting hurts. All right, we're back. Yeah, this is a lot of fun because it's thin metal, and if you're not too careful, it'll blow through. But we got this thing welded in. It is what it is. I mean, a lot of it is rusted. It's old metal, but we got those gussets in. Okay, so they're not going anywhere. We are going to mark and drill 3 holes, and then we'll prep, sand, and paint. Drew over here is assembling the energy suspension bushings and utilizing, we have a drum of it right there, our suspension lube. You're going to want to smear some around the perimeter, the inside, and also around here. Press that in, put that in place. Bob's your uncle. And we have new hardware such as this. We got rid of these butter looking bolts. Yeah, they'll work, but we are keeping consistent in a theme. Oh, and those shackles, we've got the shackle bushings right here. Now the new ones come with these cheap rubberized ones that are basically, I had an open box. Let's see here. Here we go. And they're the same. Like I said, same theme, same bat time, same bat channel, right? And there they are right there. Okay? But let me show you what we had to endure with these stupid things. These are unlocked like the original ones. Had I known they weren't too pitted, I would have just refurbished them. But we had to cut these things out. They had them glued, welded, 3 points on both ends. You could see it right there, and on the inside here. We had to prep and set up and punch those things out, cut, and then once they were done, we ziz wheeled, shaped them up, and now we got them over here. We've touched up the paint, and they're drying. It's a semi-black, and they're right there. They're right there, hanging and drying, and just waiting for us to reassemble them. So, I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to put this guy down. We're going to start finishing the assembly of the springs and get them in. And then we're going to get the differential back there. We're going to put that in, set that up. And we've got these 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch spacers there. And again, everything is painted, clean, detailed. There's our U-bolts. U-bolt springs are original. Look at that. You saw the earlier picture. I'll try to put one up on your screen, the original shot. Look at how nice they are. Look at that. They came out nice. With a little bit of elbow grease, you know, some media blasting and ziz wheeling and smoothing out that metal. Hey, it all depends on you and your effort and your ability amongst having the right tools to do a good job. So, anyways, all this stuff here will be installed. And that's coming up next. And again, here's those U-bolts. There's our new assembly. That looks nice. A lot better than that box of old stuff down here. Where's that stuff at? Ooh. So, anyways, keep following along. Up there's my doorbell. Looks like somebody's here. And we'll catch up with you in a bit. Hey, thanks for sticking around and tuning back. It's been a little while for us, but for you out there, the viewer, it's probably just been a flip of the frame. So let's go see how our K10's doing. Yes, we got our Lambo back. So here she is, ta-da! 1977 Chevrolet 4-wheel drive K10 Blueprint Racing 3D3 stroker. You might have saw the last videos when we did that Jeepers Creepers parody. Got a CVF serpentine kit, got their billet hinges, got this big massive I believe Griffin radiator with the dual fans. So again, we've got this thing all refurbished with the exception of the body. We've already long since had our front suspension redone. Hey, we got our bumper back in. Got these nice chrome strap hooks. So there is our front differential, front brakes, everything is done. New rad core. Coming around here, yeah, she looks pretty rough. See inside, yes, we've got to do some wiring repair, replace that. We got a Dakota digital dash, we got a brand new dash pad, get a cover for this. For right now, we're going to make sure anything he needs, like his pocket and stuff, if he wants that, we're going to make sure it's freshened up, clean the windows, make sure the brakes are working, and all the wiring. So we've got 2 new fuel tanks. Boys are over there putting in the secondary one on the passenger side. Turns out these straps are a little bigger, so I had to order those, and I figured, what the heck, there's only one more tank, and being a 3D3 stroker, let's go ahead and get them some more fuel tank capacity. All new bolts, already media blasted, sanded, painted, same bump stops. Now this guy's got a 4.5-inch lift. So coming around here, like I said, look at this thing. Oh, by the way, remember that bumper? Look at this. This was just meant for show before. Somebody welded this in. We went ahead and welded that more thorough. We made our own beefed up brackets. They used to be 1/8 of an inch. Now you can actually tow. We've got this shackle strap weld on clamps here, not clamps, but brackets, along with these stainless steel shackles. Now we had cranked the hell out of that with Loctite, so nobody tries to steal that. So coming underneath here, getting on my hands and knees, look, there's that diff. Look at that. Oh, those blocks right there? Hang on. This is what helps to assist our lift. They're about 1 inch. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dark. 1 inch and by 5/8. We're gonna have to take that to the mill and shave those down so we can work that pinion angle. Look at that beautiful center strap. That was custom made by our friends Zach at G&J Aircraft out of California. And again, that pinion angle, that's just a little severe. It's not too bad up there at the top. It was the conversion kit, lack of oil, that blew that out. But the pinion angle, or the pinion, blew out by the poor pinion angle. It's got too much articulation. We've got all new brakes rebuilt. The drums were fine. We refurbished that, media blasted, primed, painted. And then coming over here, he's already got the gas tank in. All new bolts, hardware, energy suspension bushings. But again, that pinion angle needs to be pitched up another 6 degrees. And then we also hooked up with our friends at Control Cables. I believe they're in El Monte. Gary and Ed, thank you. We basically got some replacement cables, but they were too short because of the lift. So we just extended everything by 3 inches and it'll work. Now keep in mind, when this thing catches air, the suspension goes down. So we had to make sure that wasn't gonna rip out. We've got all new e-brake emergency cables. We're not gonna mess with safety. And this kid's only 28 years old. Look at this, this thing is beautiful. All new tank, sending unit. We've got a valve control for his fuel selector. So look at this, 77 K10, just a beauty. And it's amazing, on that transfer case, we did a video on this prior. A lot of those parts are scarce. You're not gonna find them. They're just a thing of the past. Got a brand new 700R4 transmission underneath there for 4-wheel drive. So let's come in the office here. I wanted to share something with you. This particular build, and Nick, if you're watching, God, I can just you see the tears coming out of my eyes. This is special and dear to me, and I'll tell you why.